We... Okay, I'm lost. No! You start in the middle and you're supposed to go to the side. Right, okay. Okie dokie. I'm looking at the map wrong. I was looking at it like I'm supposed to... Like I came from where I started. But I didn't. So I was confused momentarily. I was looking at it like I was coming from where I'm supposed to go. This is the final floor. More of these fools. Gigas is everywhere. Did I pick up the Holy Lance? Did I accidentally skip it? I mean, not that I care. Now I'm curious. Let's see. Yep, no, there it is. Alright. Alright. And before we finish... Alright. So, to compare, there's my HP and MP. And this is my HP and MP for the last time I beat the game. So Maria ended up with a little less hit points, but like I said, 750 is the mark. I beg to differ, sir. I really like this final boss music. Alright, so... Might as well just use this. That casts level 16 haste, by the way. Now, the Emperor does have some pretty powerful spells, but thankfully, he doesn't have a lot of hit points. So, he'll be dead in 2, maybe 3 rounds. Have Guy use these Baccus Wine on a Leon. See if I can get 2 rounds. This is his big one-winged angel attack. Hopefully it won't kill anybody. Nope. Okay, we're good. Alright. He should be dead soon? Question mark? Relatively soon. It might take one more round, but... Well, Maria's dead. But that's okay. That's why I said she needs about 750 hit points. Because of... that spell right there. And he's dead. If I had had more strength, it would have taken about 2 turns less. And Maria wouldn't have died. But he's a pretty easy final boss. Like, I don't get why people think this game is so hard. Like, okay, the NES version is very difficult, but, like, people think the GBA version is hard for some reason. It's not. We're the rebels. The Wild Rose Rebellion. Die, monster. You don't belong in this world. So in the novelization of Final Fantasy II, Satan is the reason, like straight up Satan is the reason why the Emperor is evil. Like, the Emperor is possessed by Satan. And my understanding is that, like, when you kill him, he gets dispossessed, but he goes down to hell, and he's like, fuck you, Satan, and he kills Satan and takes over hell. There was nobody in Kashuan. It was just a castle full of monsters. So... oh, good old Paul. I feel like he stole our wallet there. That's what that spin was about. I feel like that's supposed to... like, Layla obviously had a crush on Firion. Like, a bunch of stuff was lost in this. This is really a bittersweet game. Like, you stop the Emperor, but there's only one Wyvern left, and the Dragoons are all dead. The only thing left is one small child who can't know the teachings of the Dragoons. There is 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 destroyed towns. Leon is another bittersweet thing. So much has gone in between Firion and Leon, you know, the rebels in Leon, that I'd like to point out that Cid was there. Once again, I'm going to say that this is only the beginning. But once again, I'm going to say that Cid should have been the 4th party member in Soul of Rebirth, not Scott. It should not have been Scott. Text crawls like this always remind me of Earthbound. The music here is actually reminds me of the music when you're sitting down for coffee in Earthbound. At least the start here. Yep, and they had peace. Peace had returned once more until the After Years. If you haven't played the After Years, it's funny because the implication of that moon is that it has been to other Final Fantasy worlds, and that it seeded life on all of the worlds of Final Fantasy, and that it had been to the world of Final Fantasy 1 and 2 and 3 and 5 maybe, but it had been to several of the worlds, and that it didn't meet the criteria, so it destroyed them. That's the implication of the After Years. And that Emperor Matthias. I don't know. Like, this Final Fantasy game is interesting to me because, like, in modern JRPGs, there's always the villain, and then there's the real villain. And they didn't do that in this game. They started to do it, and it's like, oh, you defeated the Emperor, but look, Leon has declared himself Emperor. Nope, Emperor's back, bitches. Let's see. Final Fantasy V didn't do that. Well, actually, Final Fantasy V sort of did that, because the first, like, world of the game, you're not... You don't know X-Death exists. So, I guess you could see it that way. But really, there's no major antagonist in the first world of Final Fantasy V. Final Fantasy IV does it. You think you're fighting Golbez, and then nope, it's Zeromus. 6 does it. You think you're fighting the Empire. Nope, Kefka kills everybody and steals the limelight. 7 does it. You're fighting Shinra, but nope, Sephiroth has come. 8 does it. You're fighting Adia. Nope. It's not Adia. It's whatever the hell was going on in Final Fantasy VIII with the time compression. Final Fantasy IX, it's pretty much Kuja the entire... No, it's Queen Braun for a little while, and then you find out, nope, it's Kuja. Final Fantasy X, it's pretty much Sin the entire way. But they do kind of drop that bomb. It's not really Sin. It's this little bug creature that lives in Sin. I don't even know what the hell was going on in 13. I couldn't tell you. Actually, the plot to 13 is not that complicated. It's just... They just don't... They never really tell the protagonist what the hell is going on. Like... And I don't remember the plot to 12 enough to make that call. But, like, if you don't know, the plot to 13 is basically the Pope hates the world and wants it to be reset. But to reset it, he has to mark some people and ruin their lives. And so he marks them, and it sucks, and you spend the entire game running away from the people that work for the Pope who want to kill you because you're marked. And at the end of the game... you kill the Pope, and instead of resetting the world, Fang and Vanille give the world 2 extra lives. One of them which is used in Final Fantasy X-2, and the other one is used in Lightning Returns. And then the world is reset. That's a very simplistic rundown of Final Fantasy 13. Like, honestly, Final Fantasy 13-2 and 13-3 are some of the most unnecessary games I've ever seen. Like, 10-2 was really unnecessary as well, but they went into it as this is now Yuna's story about what she does now that her purpose is fulfilled, and she just tools around the world, playing dress up and hanging out with her girls, and just she's seeing what her defeating sin has done for the world. It's a nice thing because you have you've spent time with this world and with these characters, and now you're seeing where they are. Whereas Final Fantasy 13-2 and 13-3 is really just a bunch of gibberish. That said, Final Fantasy 13-2 has one of the better Gilgamesh battles. The best Gilgamesh battle, if you haven't seen it, the best version of Gilgamesh is in Final Fantasy 14. And I will stand by this and I will fight you over it because he gets lonely, catches a chicken, paints it green, and names it Enkidu. And the Enkidu chickens are part of his boss pack. I love Gilgamesh. I was so sad that he wasn't in Final Fantasy 15. I hope to God they put him in some DLC. Because he was DLC in 13-2. And that was a really good Gilgamesh battle. Because it was weird because he comes out, if you haven't seen it, he comes out with guns and stuff. I'm not talking about Final Fantasy 2 because we've actually got more Final Fantasy 2 to go. And Soul of Rebirth is going to be a lot harder than the base game because you don't have as much control over your characters and stuff. So join me next time for Soul of Rebirth. Which we're going to be starting after I get some sleep, I imagine. So let's save over this one. Bye. For now, anyway.